So season 2 of Being Sir Bob is here. The objective this season is finish better than 11th in the league and then get further than the 3rd round in the FA Cup and the 4th round in the League Cup. I think we can do it based on last season. Let's go. I'm not going to hang around for reasons that maybe reveal one day. I guess we'll find out. Basically, I'm not doing as much of the intro stuff anymore. But we are into season 2 of Newcastle United Being Sir Bob in FM18. I am Ed, TedRedwood FM. And here's what we've done so far. Started the season off away against Everton. We lost 1-0. Theo Walcott getting the only goal there. Disappointing. We absolutely peppered them. We've been the best side by an absolute mile in all 4 of these games. But unfortunately, we're hit by a sucker punch against Everton. And then against Huddersfield, our most recent game, we lost 2-1. We sort of allowed them 2 opportunities and they scored twice before Tammy Abraham, that's right, got one back in the 87th minute. Andy Carroll scoring for Huddersfield. I'd be lying if I said I didn't go for him, but I didn't really want to pay him like 80 grand a week, to be honest. I think you can see why. The other 2 games this season are a 2-0 win against Wolves, which was a really efficient performance. We created 2 real opportunities, one from a corner which Mbemba put away, and then Logan Matei, our young French right winger, has been getting some game time this season, doing well. He scored the 2nd goal, and yeah, just fine. It was alright. The final of our 4 games to start the season off was away at Notts County in the Carabao Cup, assisted massively by the fact that they got a man sent off in the 24th minute. It was just one of those classic, again, efficient performances you see against lower league opposition in cups. We scored goals and that was kind of all we saw. We didn't see anything from them. Yeah, happiness all round. Just not happy at those 2 defeats, but hopefully we'll sort that out today against Southampton. But as it has been summer, obviously there's been a huge amount of transfers, and you can see from not only the amount of people in and out, but the money in and out. 65 million spent, 59 million in. It's been a big summer. We'll cover the outs super quick now. So we'll go by fee and see what happens. So Lejeune, Ritchie, Shelvey, Gale, Clark and Manquillo all went for over 5 million. Some of the more surprising ones in there perhaps are Shelvey, Ritchie and Gale. Shelvey, I hinted I had had enough of him. But himself and Ritchie have both gone to West Ham. Again, Ritchie he's getting on a bit. He's 30 now, so I wanted to try and cash him while I could, as good as he was. I felt as if there were younger options who, maybe with a tiny bit of love, would be a lot better than him pretty quickly. And then Gale did really well for us last season. He actually scored 11 goals in 20 games in the league. He spent a bit of time injured as well, bless him, but he did well. But again, it's just the right time to cash in. He's 30 years old now or soon, so yeah. Manquillo was just a backup right back, so he's obviously gone out. And then we've also lost Dummett, Murphy, Ki Sung-Yang and Rob Elliott for fees, as well as Hatem Ben Arfa I've let go for money actually to Turkey, just because he was starting to kick up a fuss. And then Matt Sells has finally got himself off the wage bill as well. So on to the ins. We've got quite an exciting team. I'll try and go through it as quickly as possible. Ryan Gould joins from Sporting for just under £300,000. So the ex-Scottish wonder kid. He's not as good as Shelvey. His current ability is lower. I think Shelvey was 3.5 star basically. So if he gets to his potential, he'll be 3.5 star. But he's 23 years old, so it's quite unlikely. But he's an absolute ton cheaper and just a good option to have. He knows he's a backup. For £20 million, Wilfred Zaha joins the club. Obviously can play on either flank, can sort of play up front as well. So versatility there for days. He started the games on the right wing so far, but he's, well, started once because he's been injured. We've signed a decent left back because Javier Garrido started kicking up a fuss about someone wanting to leave the club. But Emerson joins from Chelsea, who he joined from Roma. I think that's all happened within the last, like within the game basically. But really solid. Can't say I've ever heard of him, but he was 23.5 million, so pretty expensive for us. Good tackling and marking is alright, technique's great. He's pretty good further up the pitch too, really solid mentals and then good physicals, so at 25 years old, should be good for a few years yet. Novica Lukic, an Icelandic striker, 17 years old, will be 18 in a few months. Physicals are okay, could do with some love. Mentals are okay, could do with some love. And same with technicals, but finishing of 14, dribbling of 14, first touch 12, technique 12. I think he could be a bit of a star. He's fairly professional. We're trying to tutor him up even more as well. 1.5 star current, 5 star potential, so he is hanging around our squad, our first team squad as well, to try and get him some experience, making some good signings for the future. Never heard of this guy, but he's probably an FM signing, no doubt. Danny Olmo signed from Dynamo for about £9 million. He's really similar to Ayoza Perez, and Ayoza Perez was threatening to leave because he wanted to go to Leicester as they are in the Champions League. So similar player all round. He plays anywhere across the middle, and then I'm training him to play up front as a false 9. So if you look at like the heat map, whatever you want to call it, attribute map, whatever, of the two players, Ayoza Perez is in blue. They're really similar, and it's nice they are that similar, but also Danny Olmo is younger. He's 21 years old, and he's already better than him, so a bit of integration, he's going to be awesome. And then 2 signings from Burnley. We do have a backup keeper. We sent Woodman out on loan. We signed Nick Pope because he was like 2 million, so why wouldn't you? And then quite expensive for what he is, but we have signed Ben Mee for 9.5 million. He can play left back as well, like fairly comfortably, so that was the thinking behind that, as well as centre back. Just solid, a good leader, a good pro, so be good for tutoring, knows his rotation, and wasn't too expensive. Followed by 2 free signings. We got Joel Campbell on a free from Arsenal, and I can't believe he was still there. It feels like he's been there for like forever. I had assumed that he was British, as well as Costa Rican by now, but that's not the case, at least on the game. So he got granted a work permit, and that's fine. We don't know what's going on with Brexit yet, but I guess we'll find out. But again, he's a rotation option. He can play on either wing, so it's happy days. Good work rate, good physicals, dribbling's fine. So he's doing a job so far. The second of the free signings is Gary Cahill, who I teased at someone I was trying to get in. He's 33 years old now, will be 34 in a few months, but again, rotation option, knows he's a rotation. If he plays something like 15 league games, he will get a contract extension for a year. Physical's declining. Mentals are incredibly good. Technique is still fine. So again, works as a backup, someone who can play in the League Cup and tutor. And then last but not least is 2 loan signings. So we got Tammy Abraham on loan from Chelsea, costing us 30k a week when he plays and 50 when he doesn't, so that's not a problem. But really good physicals, really good mentals, I think, even really good technicals. 3 star current, 4.5 star potential. I was looking at potentially replacing Mitrovic, because Mitrovic is good, but he keeps getting injured, and we just needed to make sure we had other options up front because we had a couple of players talking about leaving. So Abraham isn't quite as good, but he is a lot younger. Again, he goes up by 1 or 2 everywhere, and he's kind of got him beat. He's also a bit of a unit, Abraham, so that's good. And then the final piece of the puzzle, also on loan. Let's ignore some of the other signings. We made a couple of cheap signings who have gone out on loan, new gen players to various places. We signed Josh Onomar from Tottenham. He's 22 in this database now. Just a good all-round centre mid. Wanted to increase the English quota, and someone who could sort of fill in a bit of everywhere, really, and he does that. He's been fine so far, nothing extraordinary though. Behind the scenes, we are improving the youth facilities. Our training facilities were completed, and finance is looking okay. We've got 8 million in the bank. I still don't really know the makeup of the club and how we do season on season. I think just the TV money just bails everyone out all the time, so that's good. I'm happy enough with it. And where we currently sit in the league after 3 games, we've got games in hand over most of these teams. We are 14th, so a win against Southampton today could take us as high as, well, 7th or 6th depending on the result. Well, no, they got the same goal difference, 7th or 6th. But let's not dally around anymore. Let's get into the game. We got the team today is Rajkovic in goal, Amati, Lascelles and Bemba and Emerson at the back, Grujic and Pasalic in the middle, Zaha and Atsu on the wings, and then Mitrovic and Perez up front. So actually quite a similar team to one you'd have been used to seeing last season. It's only really Zaha and Emerson and you there. But the bench is completely different. So Nick Pope's on the bench, Ben Mee, Onomar, Abraham, Olmo and Campbell all on the bench. And then we've got some good backup options who just aren't on the bench. Most of them are youngsters here, but there's a couple who know their backups. So I think a pretty strong squad overall, and I'd like to think we can do better than the 10th place we got last season. If you are enjoying the video today though, please remember to drop a like and subscribe. It lets me know you're enjoying the series and want to see more of it. In terms of Southampton, it's just a familiar looking team there. So they've got Forster in goal, Ben Gibson, which is not familiar. In fact, it's not familiar at all, is it? So yeah, Ben Gibson, Yoshida and James Tarkowski at the back row. I was looking at signing, but just didn't get in time. I sort of forgot that they got relegated. So to get Tarkowski for 11 million is probably a better deal than Ben Mee for 9, but hey-ho. They've got Bertrand and Cedric at wing-back, Romeo and Classy in the middle, Redmond and Ward-Prowse on the wings, and then Odion Igalo up front, which is interesting. Interesting, but still weird. Highlight for us first of the game. Atsu swings in a corner, Lascelles knocks it down, Gruich hits the post, it bounces around, and Chancel and Mbemba pokes in at the far post, and it's a good start for Newcastle. So yeah, just a bit of pinball happened here. Atsu, good corner in, Lascelles knocks it down, not sure why from there, but it's fine. Deflection comes in, and then Mbemba just has an easy job, makes it 1-0, and we have another highlight instantly. Atsu floats it in, drops for Zaha on the edge, gives it to Ioza Perez, and that's just wide. Now it's Southampton's turn to have a corner, and this just looks like horrific defending. Great stuff. So the corner comes in from Ward-Prowse, Classy gets his head on it, it goes straight at Rajkovic, who just pushes it into the net. Really disappointing. What I was going to say is against the sort of 3-4-3 formation that Southampton are playing, because Wolves have also played it and we seem to do well against them every time they do. Yeah, we seem to do quite well, but it's just a shame I can't prove it right now. Said I'm not happy, going to send them back out and hope this team can do the business. Throwing for Southampton down the right side, Classy on the ball for him on a yellow, so might be able to get him sent off if we're lucky. Not that I would do that, I'm a consummate professional, I wouldn't want to get someone sent off, but you take it if it happened, right? Zaha gets it on the right, speeds past his man beautifully, knocks it into the middle, Perez doesn't get his head on it, that was a wrong target really, need to get it to Mitro. That as he picks up the loose ball, Zaha again with a chance to knock it into the box and does. Mitrovic is at the front post, but it's too tight of an angle really to be going goal from there. 62 minutes and we are dominating all over the pitch really, but we're not really making many clear-cut chances. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring off Mitrovic for Abraham, just see if we can stretch him out a little bit more. And actually, yeah, I'll bring off Perez for Olmo, who's not quite got used to his role yet, but he might get there soon. And Lascelles is on a yellow and that worries me, so I'm actually going to bring on Ben Mee for him. And just a change of personnel, we're not going to change the system too much yet, but I might go more direct and faster if we can't create anything soon. Although a corner comes in, Atsu, Pazalic knocks it down, and Mbemba, and it's either a save or it's hit the post, and Mbemba seems to be deadly from these deflected corners. So there's another one here, but these normally come to nothing after a highlight. But Zaha on the edge of the box, Danny Olmo, oh, just get the shot away, son. Goal kick, or maybe it was an offside. Forster to Gibson at the back. There's about 10 minutes left, and I was about to go attacking and direct, but we'll see how this highlight plays out first. Southampton keeping it nicely at the back. We're not putting a huge amount of pressure on. And they definitely have a bit of an overload on the wings happening, which explains why we're doing so well down the middle. Atsu has come inside to get it. Abraham finds Olmo, who really needs someone in the box, and finds Abraham, who's arriving late after setting up the goal, or setting up the assist rather. Tammy Abraham gets on the score sheet and puts us rightfully ahead. If you look at that, we've had 20 shots, Southampton have had 2. We haven't created anything that great, which has been the story of the season so far really. We've been efficient and good, but not that creative. But that is a really vital goal. We need to just score when we get these opportunities. When we play so well, we need to be scoring more goals. I mean, 21 shots with only 5 on target is an absolute disgrace. 2 clear-cut chances, not that many long shots either, only 5 long shots, so 16 shots that aren't considered long. So quite what's happening to them I don't know, just terrible accuracy I guess. But Southampton have changed formation now to their strange sort of Christmas tree thing, which they did last season and got punished. Could they again? Zaha into the middle, Romeo clears it, and with just over a minute of injury time left, you start to panic when they move up the pitch. They're still coming, big ball into the middle which we clear. Is this just the really long end of game highlight, or is this a highlight for us? Abraham to Zaha, finds Atsu, who slots it in the near post. Oh, relief, it's palatable. I thought we might be throwing this one away, but we have won it, and hopefully won it 3-1. It's moved us up to 7th. Ooh, breathe. And there's the end of the game. 3-1 confirmed. I'd say justified. I think it took us long enough to get that second goal, but fully deserved, and I'm pleased with that. So Zaha picks up man of the match, 1 assist, just seemed to do their defenders time and time again down that right wing. Southgate checking on a number of players for England, but only Jamal Lascelles for me, unfortunately. Lascelles is an interesting one because Tottenham came in for him. I don't know what I'm doing there. And he wanted to go, but I didn't really want to accept like 20 million for him. He started kicking up a fuss. I don't know how much to really ask for Lascelles, because everyone has their price. But I don't think I'd want to sell him for less than like 60 million, and no one's ever going to bid that, so it looks like he's here forever. So after that, we are 7th in the league. There are still a couple teams below us with games in hand. Only Liverpool can go above us though, which would drop us down to 8th temporarily, so not too bad in the grand scheme of things. We're in touching distance of the European places. I know it's only 4 games in, but you've got to keep an eye on these things, right? And then we got maybe a semi-easier run of games coming up. Take out Man City, of course. But we've got Wolves in the League Cup 3rd round, but I think I'll probably come back to you somewhere around this time. West Ham, Tottenham, Arsenal, Watford. I'll just see what the league's doing, because this is a horrible stretch of games really. Tottenham, Arsenal, then Watford, then Chelsea, Liverpool, Stoke, then Man United. That's a pretty bad run. I'll join you somewhere around here. We'll see what the league's doing. But if you have enjoyed that, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're enjoying it, and players to look out for, I guess, because I've not really done this in England before, especially not on FM18. But yes, thank you very much for watching.